spiritual insight for people diagnosed with schizophrenia. So, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia since 2020, and since then, I've been hyper focused and hyper fixated on just getting my mind right, trying to get back to what I thought normal was, hyper focused on just clearing my thoughts, not listening to anything in my head, not focused on like any of the hallucinations I was seeing, just focused on being grounded in reality. And I was having a conversation with my friend the past couple of days, and it came to my head that I was actually always schizophrenic. I was born schizophrenic, I'm pretty sure. Like, I remember as a kid, like, being like elementary school, I remember for like a couple months, maybe like a year straight, like 9 months, almost a year, I wake up in the middle of the night and I would see and feel all these ants crawling like on my entire body, like bumper to bumper ants, like ant to ant, like all over my entire body, all over my flesh. And I remember waking up and like they'd be on my arm, and I would be like rubbing my arm, trying to get these ants off, and my hand would go right through the ants. You know what I mean? I'm like, but I'm seeing these ants all over my body, and I'm like rubbing my arm. I'm like, what's up with these ants? But they're on my hand too, and they're on my arm. So I'm like, just looking like what, like fully covered in ants. You get what I'm saying? This happened for like almost a year straight, and I remember like when it first started happening. Maybe the second day, I'm like waking up, I'm like screaming. You know what I'm saying? Running to my mom's room, like, Mom, I'm covered in ants. Like what the? She's like, what the, what are you talking about? Like, she's checking my room. Ain't no fucking ants in my room. I'm just like, Mom, I'm trying to sleep with you. Like, these ants, like, keep crawling all over me. I'm like, I don't know what's up with these ants. You know what I'm saying? And like, that was one of the first like visual hallucinations. But I mean, I remember telling my parents and just my friends and shit, like, man, I'm seeing ghosts, seeing aliens, seeing demons, seeing like spirits, seeing angels, seeing all kind of shit. But I remember these ants heavy because it was like for a year straight, and I just, completely just like, I don't know, just brushed it off, But I remember being like in elementary school, going to the park, or just being outside playing with my friends and stuff, just normal kid stuff. And I would be hearing like my mom and my sisters, some of my teachers, some of the few teachers I actually liked. Like, I would hear them occasionally, like, like I'd be outside. This was like, I'm 28, so like, I remember being a kid, like before I had a phone and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be hearing my mom, like, come home, like, food's ready, like, make sure you be home before like the lights come on and stuff. Like, I'd be hearing that shit in my head, like, you gotta come on, or you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'd be in trouble and stuff, like, gotta go home, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was mostly like positive voices, so it didn't like negatively affect me. It'd be like, like, be careful, have fun, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you do this, or, oh, you doing this today? It was all like very positive voices in my head. It was my family, people I cared about, people I was loving. So again, I just brushed it off. I didn't think anything was wrong with it. And I also thought that everyone heard that. You know what I mean? I was talking to my friend, like, bro, you wasn't a kid, you wasn't hearing your parents' voices and shit in your head? Like, that's some real skit shit. Like, I definitely always have heard my parents and my family's voices in my head since I was a kid. And that relieved so much of my stress, because I'm telling you, since 2020, it's 2024 now, for like 4 years straight, every single day, my mind has been fixated on being so-called normal, being regular. Before I actually got diagnosed, and that whole process, that whole scenario and everything, my mind was just so focused on like, man, like, gotta be normal so bad. But just having that memory, because like ever since I got diagnosed, like, I try not to think so hard, I try not to overthink things. Like, I really don't focus on my memory too much. I tend to live in the moment. Like, I try to live in the moment as much as I can. Live in the real world. But that insight has just relieved so much stress, because I'm like, that's why it was so difficult. I was trying to do something that was literally impossible. You know, I was trying to go back to before I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, before all these things were happening. But I've literally always had schizophrenia, and I didn't even realize it till like 2 days ago. So I just wanted to share that to anyone who's diagnosed with schizophrenia, who's been like peeking out, you know, hearing, seeing things, smelling things, tasting things. Like, think very hard. Try to remember, like, how long were you actually hearing voices? So like the difference to me from when I was a kid, it was like 99% positive things, you know. Like I said, it was just my family, my friends, sometimes my teachers. It was all positive things, you know. But since like 2020, it's been a bunch of negative voices and negative hallucinations. You get what I mean? Like probably from 99% to maybe like from 99% positive hallucinations to maybe like 10% positive hallucinations. You know, that was the difference, and that's why it's been a fight, and it's been so just negative towards my health and everything. Just I was trying to just like, man, like get all these negative things out of my head, and I'm not even liking the positive things. Like, I don't want anything in my head at all. I don't want to see nothing fake. You know, I really just want to be cured. I'm sure anyone with schizophrenia would say that they just want to be cured. So I was trying to, you know, do it myself, some self-healing and things like that. You know, herbs, all kind of things. But you know, that shit just relieved so much stress in my life. It was like, bro, you're really born schizophrenic. Like, you're tripping. Like, you're really normal, you know? It's like you trying so hard to do something that's impossible. So I just wanted to share this video. I just wanted people to think, you know, if anyone's diagnosed with that, maybe think. Maybe you're actually born that way. You know, maybe it just got worse as you got older. I just want people to think, like, maybe, like, are you sure you never heard your parents' voice when you were a kid? You never heard your friend, maybe your crush or something? You never, you know, what was the first thing? Because I remember, like, I gotta call my mom, tell her about these fucking ants, man. I'm like, Mom, that's a straight hallucination, you know, for like a year straight. Just completely brushed it off. But that was the main message, man. I love you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. You know, it's about to be start of the summer. Sun's shining. I'm honestly about to go to the hospital right now. Roll me another little joint, but love y'all, man. Peace. And, you know, just try to relax, you know. I just wanted to add this too, like, I'm not a doctor or anything, but, you know, a lot of my friends suffer with like mental illnesses and things, and I believe that may be true for other mental illnesses as well. You know, like, a lot of my friends, like, we all focus so hard on being so-called normal because maybe you got diagnosed with bipolar or autism at a certain age. It's like, if you think back, if you really think back, use your memory, like, maybe you're always like that. You know, maybe it took time for the symptoms to manifest more, but maybe you were just always born like that. And what you're trying to do is literally impossible. Because you're born how you're born. You are who you are, you know? And I just hope that shit helps people. I hope that shit helps you. Hope that shit relaxes you and eases your mind the way it has eased my own mind. I love you guys, though. Bye.